Was practice today?
It was fun. Any day we get to go out there, it's a blessing. The big thing this week is win the day. And our defensive line coach, Coach Haynes, had a perfect, I would say, motivational speech this morning. Just show gratitude, and you're not promised every day. And I think that we carried that out with us today, and everybody was just flying around, having fun, smiles on everybody's faces, just enjoying the moment.
What's it been like for you going through this spring with the level of experience you have under your belt already?
Not to coast. There's always there's always something that you can get better at, and every day Coach Lev's big on just finding one thing that you can work on, and you can't get bored with doing your job. And the safeties, we're getting everybody lined up on our defense, and we don't take it lightly. And Thursdays is no glove Thursdays, so it's just another thing to look forward to. We try and catch picks with no gloves on Thursdays, just to so that we could do it.
For you individually, what are those things that you're kind of working on every day, or ways you're trying to raise your game?
It just depends on the day. What I do is after every practice, I'll have a day 1, day 2, day 3, whatever it is, corrections, and I have all my corrections bulleted, and I'll look over it before the night before practice that next day, and I'll just go and try and fix everything that I had messed up with the day before.
Have you always done that?
No, I have not. This year is the first year that I'm doing that.
What led you to kind of want to start taking that habit?
This spring, it was just really big on growth, and I just wanted to grow as a man, as a player, just in every aspect of my life. And I really wanted to do it on the football field and just give it my all. It's my last ride. Just give everything I got so I don't have any regrets later on.
How's the safeties room looking this spring?
It's looking great. We lost a great safety, and Clifford Chapman and Ryan Shaughnessy, and it's like we didn't lose a beat. We have a new guy, Elliott from UIW. I mean, the guy, he plays like a vet. He's mature. He learns quick. So I feel like we haven't lost a step at all, and we should be better than we were last year in that room.
You work in this spring in both safety spots, or primarily free, or what's going on this spring with that?
So I've been playing mostly the boundary safety skill, where I played last year. Coach Lev knows that I know both of them, but for right now, I've just been repping in the boundary.
How do you look back on the way you handled the challenge of stepping into that starting role last season when Rashad went down?
Just goes back to your preparation, and from the spring, from summer workouts, all that matters. And last year, you have to prepare like you're a starter. This year, I'm preparing like, I want to be an all-conference player. And I feel like you should always set goals for yourself. And last year, I had goals for myself, regardless being a starter or backup. And the biggest goal being just help the team in any way that I can. And hopefully, I did that.
It was around the time you were stepping into that role last year that we talked to you, and you said you were interested in coming back for this year as long as the coaches would have you. Did you ever waver on that, or what was that process like for you making that decision?
Never wavered on it. I always knew that I wanted to use all your eligibility. I really want to have no regrets when I'm done. I really do. And I knew that if the coaches, allowed me to come back, that I would come back and just have one last ride with the guys and all the memories and everything. I'm not ready to let that go just yet.
Does that put even more on this spring for you? And especially with Rashad still kind of resting up, you have a lot of opportunity out there, I imagine, to take a lot of those reps.
It's just the reps, honestly, are probably about the same because we go racks of 4, with each group. So the reps are probably about the same. My mindset's pretty much the same too. I never really looked at myself as a backup. Just another guy out there that you can throw in wherever you need me. And yeah, that's the same way I'm looking at this year.
You have a lot of talented guys in that room. What is that kind of competition like, or how do you see that shaping up?
It's such a competitive atmosphere, but we all love each other so much that, me and so-and-so could be competing for this job, but at the end of the day, like, if he messes up on something, I'm going to let him know. If I mess up on something, he's going to let me know. And we just have each other's backs in there, and we really want the best for anybody in that room.
What does it sort of say about you and your mentality that this deep into your career, you're still kind of willing to engage in those competitions and sort of fight for that spot?
It's the culture, and I feel like that's how everybody should be here. And I think everybody is like that. And, I was here before where it was more of, me type atmosphere. And now, I mean, nobody really has that mentality. And it just trickles down from Coach Traylor down to, walk-ons and video. Everybody has the mindset. So when everybody's on the same page and they want what's best for the team, that's what happens.
It's probably really rare that any safety room anywhere has 4 guys who have played as many snaps as you and Rashad, Ken, and Elliott. How does that sort of change the way you guys are able to talk about defense and talk about the role? I imagine there's a pretty high intellectual level at this point.
Definitely. So Coach Lep knows, in our room, we love going super deep, in-depth talks about just the whole defense. And when we first got here, you just want to learn what you have to do. Now we know what we have to do, what the guys in front of us do, what the D-line does, why everybody does it. We're big on why. And it's just really cool to learn all that. We want to be an extension of our coaches when we're out there.
What's your view of the quarterback competition back there?
It's great. Eddie's, me and Eddie kind of from the same area.
Yeah.
So no bias there, but it's just fun to see it. I feel like it's a nice, healthy competition. Those guys, they don't have any entitlement, anything. They're just hungry and they want to be on the field. And you can see it with how they approach it in meetings and on the field. And I love to see it. I really do.
You also got a few speedy receivers out there. I know that's y'all's main competition there, but they seem like, there's a couple of guys that are some playmakers on that side of the ball.
Yeah, definitely some playmakers. And whether it's from JUCO, high school, with David, Willie, honestly, that receivers room is probably one of the deepest in the country. And what's crazy is not a lot of people would even know that, but we know because we see it every day. But yes, definitely an exciting room, and they're going to be very explosive this year.
You mentioned David that he's a freshman. He should be in high school right now. Is it surprising to see him come out here and make plays like that?
It definitely was surprising. Just because the first time I saw him, I was like, who is this kid?
Yeah.
And I remember the first time we were running, they're called flying 10-yard sprints.
Yeah.
And he had the fastest 10-yard sprint out of all the skill players. And that's when I first was like, okay. But he's actually a really, really good football player, runs really good routes, really fast, and he's good with the ball in his hands.
I appreciate it.
Thank
Thanks a
you.
lot.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.